Yeah. Okay. So, well, you can't see Roll20 anyway, can you, Drac?
No, I can't see Roll20.
Okay. So, you're at where this Knoll settlement was, which is now just a pool of lava, which is steaming, cooling in the cold. Volcano is kind of northwest to you, and to the northeast, you can make on the horizon. You can make out the outline of a tall building or a spire or a very thin mountain of some sort. Other than that, you're surrounded by tundra, endless in all directions. I'll put it on a map for you guys that can see it. You just got an idea of where you are. Should ping you to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to pick a direction or head for the thing on the horizon.
I mean, can we just stay here for a night and enjoy the warmth?
I think he's already camped here last time.
Yeah, you should have gotten rid of some fatigue and stuff.
But yeah, I mean, if you've still got clocks to clear, it's up to you.
Ah, I found my sheet. Okay.
Yeah, so you know to the south was tundra where you came from. To the east and the west, I mean, it just looks the same. So you've got the thing to the northeast. The volcano, you could try and kind of go around to the northwest, but you'd have to climb down some cliffs in order to get down there and then make your way past the volcano itself. And I've no idea what your supplies are like just now.
Yeah, I only have one. I think we should probably head towards the town. The thing that looks like a town on the horizon.
Sounds good to me. Sounds like we're low on supplies right now, anyways.
Okay, so who wants to make the journey roll?
I have Pathfinder 3 now.
Which should make up for you getting lost last time.
Fuck you. So we 5 dice, yeah? Because prepared and
Do you have 2 rations between y'all?
I had one, if my seat's still correct.
I have 1, yeah.
Okay, so you've got enough rations to be prepared.
So we're not prepared?
The route's... I suppose the route's not unknown because you're just going straight across tundra. It's not particularly treacherous. It's not more than a day, so yeah, you can get your full dice.
4 dice, okay.
Oh, your full dice, so if it's 5, then you've got 5.
Oh, okay. 2 successes.
Yep, that's enough to get you there just in time. Yes, so it's a long day's trek across the snow. Fortunately, the weather doesn't get any worse. Visibility is not too bad. You come up to this massive, towering gatehouse or fortress that sits on the edge of cliffs to your east and your west. You can see the cliffs drop down into this valley that seems to extend north. And this gatehouse is like the entrance down into that valley without going directly down the cliffs themselves. Pop you here for this. This is a towering stone edifice. It's unlike any kind of architecture you're familiar with. It's tall and slender. clean granite. Who knows how long it's been here, or why anyone would build such a thing out here in the middle of nowhere.
Do you think it could be the ancient city of cold?
That doesn't seem like the ancient city.
Maybe they were taller back then.
Maybe it's giants.
I don't think we've traveled north enough for that.
I mean, we're almost at the edge of the map.
The gateway entrance is very large. If it was giants, it could walk through here. But having been through a giant's castle already, you can tell from the size of the windows and such that this has not been built to that scale. It just happens that the gateway itself is massive. There's like a rusted portcullis, sort of halfway down, frozen in place. But nothing is destroyed or crumbled or fallen. It's just sat here encased in ice and snow.
Are there any signs of like recent activity, or
Well, why don't you give me a roll?
what should I roll for that?
What skill have you got that might be applicable?
I could use shapeshift and turn into like a bird or something, fly around the outside.
You could do that if you want, yeah. Just roll fatigue. Sorry, take fatigue and then roll.
And I've got 2 health, so that'd be 2 dice.
2 health ticks is minus 2 dice, yeah. Yes, you attempt to shapeshift into, what, like an eagle or an owl.
Yeah.
You try to suck in the mana, the energy, the blessing of the great bear down on you. But something about the atmosphere here is dry and barren. And the ends of your fingers just like cackle and sizzle with electricity. And you're unable to draw enough mana to change form.
Maybe we should rest outside before we then head inside.
Yeah, it sounds like a safe bet for now.
So you want to rest out here in the cold and the wind rather than going inside where it's sheltered.
We have almost no supplies right now.
Alright, yeah, I guess let's head inside.
And you just don't have your Dungeoneer, and I don't know what his Dungeoneer skill was.
0.
He had at least one Dungeoneer. So who wants to make the roll for being a Dungeoneer when they don't have Dungeoneer? A scout could also apply.
I guess before we head inside, I'm gonna eat my ration and share it with them, so we can each lose 1 fatigue.
Sure. Well, that's just those fatigue from the journey, yeah. So do you want to make camp outside here, or do you want to venture in?
My vote is to venture in.
Yeah, we should venture and look for some more
Yeah.
supplies.
Okay, since Drac volunteered there, I think Drac should roll.
Alright. I have no. What am I rolling with? Like, what's like.
Do you
what is it?
have Scout?
I do not, no.
And you do not have Dungeoneer, correct?
I do not have Dungeoneer.
Okay, so you have 1 dice by default. Do you have any rations left?
No, I did not. Unless, Blue had one, but then he just used it, so.
Okay, so you're not prepared. You get. Do you have a torch you can burn?
I have a lantern.
Oh, that'll work. Okay, so that's going to give you 2 dice. But then you're also you've got lost. Yes, so it's going to take you back down to 1 dice. Do you want to take a fatigue?
Yeah, I got lost.
Do you want to take fatigue for the second dice?
Yeah, I'll take 1 fatigue.
Okay, so you can roll 2 dice. What's the highest result?
Hang on, I gotta get my dice out. Didn't think I'd be rolling this soon. I got 1 6 and a 2. So 6 would be roll.
6 is a success,
Nah.
yeah.
And that was a 1, so I got a 6, a 2, and a 1.
And what would you say is the priority here? To look for like more rations, or are you looking for treasure?
More rations at this point.
Sure, roll 1d6 for me.
I got a 1.
Okay, so you find like a frozen corpse sat against the interior of the massive archway in the gatehouse. And on this frozen corpse, it has 1 ration, and it's frozen solid, perfectly preserved. A few minutes and the boiling pot should thaw it out.
Better than nothing, I suppose.
Other than that, you find the hallways, the gateways, barren and abandoned. You can, of course, find clothing that's been frozen solid and stiff. You can find like barrels and containers and carts and such frozen in place. Judging by the amount of snow and ice on them, they've been here for an extremely long time. But there's no signs of life. Looking beyond the gate, sorry, you.
No, good. I was just gonna say that doesn't actually sound like a good thing.
Stretching beyond the gatehouse down into the valley, you can see it's more tundra, but it's not as rocky looking as the tundra you just crossed. It looks more just like a solid landscape of white. And then again on the horizon, you can see what looks to be a castle of some sort. And beyond that, your sight is completely obscured by just fog and snow. Off to the west, there looks as if there's buildings, small and scattered. They're far in the distance, but you don't see any smoke coming from them, so you're not sure if they're inhabited.
Do they look the same like the animal people from last time, or different buildings?
They're kind of square in shape, you'll be able to tell from here, so they don't look like the camp of the animal people. But there's no sign of like fires or smoke coming from it. But you can guess that off to the west, and also the castle or whatever it is off to the north, are about a day's journey each.
So we need to spend time getting more supplies before we try to make another journey, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
You want to forage here. Okay, so survivalist rolls, and you're going to have an extra -1 because there is not a lot to forage here.
So that'll just cancel out the normal free dice you would get.
Yeah. And anyone with hunter or survivalist can roll. Obviously, you're
Yeah, I
going
was
to take
gonna
fatigue.
ask if there's game.
Yeah.
What is a success? Is only 5 and 6, right?
Yes. 6s explode though. If you get a 6, you get a roll again.
Right.
1 success.
Two and a 6. Another 6.
Well, the 6 lets you roll the 6 again. You're not rolling like the whole thing again.
No, I'll just roll 1 dice.
Yeah.
So I got a 2, a 6, a 6, and a 3.
Okay, so you're going to find 2 rations. And Tarlock, you'll find 1.
Okay.
This is probably a way out here. It's going to be like an Arctic fox kind of creature, or some kind of like large shrew that's living in the crevices of the gatehouse. It's a meager ration, but it's enough to keep you fed.
No, that's true.
I imagine it's like a bunch of shrews to make up 1 ration.
Okay, so now I feel more confident in taking a trip to one of these places.
Sure. So do you want to march on without making camp, or do you just want to make camp first?
Camp, because at that roll, I think that was another fatigue roll. So
Yeah, I'm at 3 fatigue too.
Okay, so your camp will be sheltered here because there's plenty of building space to get in.
we don't need to roll for camp. We just would
You'll
have
need
a.
to roll for it, but it'll be, I think, just the person. Yeah, we'll need to have someone roll for it.
On hand, I can roll. What would I need to roll for that? Like any skill wise?
Survivalist or scout. You get +1 to it as well.
I got a 1, a 4, and a 5.
The 5 will make it a success. Okay, so that means you're going to get a full rest. So it's going to cost you 2 supplies. Everyone gets a fatigue back.
Is it just 1 fatigue, or maybe a full rest so we get?
Once you've done the rest, you'll get the fatigue, but that'll.
Okay.
Oh, you guys full success, yeah, so everyone will get the extra 2 fatigue on top of that for resting. And someone can tell a tale.
Alright, who wants to tell the story this time?
Don't we already all have 2 tales told?
I have 3.
Only told 1 tail.
I guess it's you then. Story time, Pop.
Gotta try and think of something. I guess I'm gonna talk about we are looking for the ancient civilization, right?
Yeah.
Does it have a name or anything, or is it just like known like as a? We're looking for a particular city, like people call it anything in particular?
I mean, imagine different people telling the story, give it different names, but nobody knows what it's actually called.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna just tell the people at the guys at the camp what I know about the city, the ancient city, and why I'm looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
So my master believes it is a city of great knowledge. The people there were far more advanced in magic than we are today. They used it for all kind of things. They say that the magic was like everlasting. So how we use our magic, when we form like a barrier and it will go away over time, or you can melt it with fire. They say they had magic that wouldn't happen. You make a wall and it would stay.
Huh.
And that's the whole reason I set out to find it in the first place, is to learn more about it. So this is and just talking about it, like my guy is just like overjoyed, like this is like his greatest desire kind of deal.
So you're trying to find some kind of never melt ice?
No, I'm trying to find magic, like magic no one's ever used before.
So the power.
Obviously, our magic is all temporary, but their magic was permanent.
Yeah, so the power in it doesn't really lie in as much the strength of it as how long it can last.
Yeah, it's how long it can last.
What trait are you going to take for that?
I can't really see the traits on the sheet I have, so I'll come back to that later. But I'll keep it in mind, because I gotta get you to send me the full sheet again so I can look through all the options. Yeah.
Okay, does anyone want to take watch, or are you all just going to rest? You do feel pretty secure here. The place is sheltered. There's like no signs of life. There's no reason to think there would be any danger coming.
So, it's gonna conk out.
I would say Eric can take watch.
Okay, are you going to take the whole watch then, so you don't recover any extra fatigue?
Yeah, it's fine.
Are you sure? It seems perfectly safe here.
I mean, what if some fucking giant walks in? I mean, it's a bit small for them, but still.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
You never know, she might come nibble our toes.
Then that's breakfast.
Ah,
Okay, Tarlik, where do you want to roll for taking watch? What skill have you got which would apply?
Oh, was survivalist, right?
Survivalist would work, yeah. I think Hunter would also work. Scout. I mean, there's quite a few skills you could argue we could use.
Yeah, hunter. Being attentive and all that.
You get extra dice because it's the sheltered camp.
Never let Eric take watch.
Oh yeah, because this is the second time you failed that one.
So is that
Yeah.
an XP for all of us?
Take watch isn't, no. No, it's just him.
Oh, okay.
So yes, I mean you're taking watch. You like smoking your herbs and stuff, your guy, don't you? Or is that the other character? So imagine you're sat. Sorry, on you go.
Yeah, he has smoking herbs.
He's right. Yeah, so imagine you're like crammed into one of these, like, must have been an old storeroom or an armory or something like that. And it's just like bare stone walls. It's covered in frost and ice. You've got your little campfire set up in the centre, and you're all gathered around sleeping, and you're just like sitting at the edge of the doorway, poking your head out now and again, smoking to keep yourself warm, but not wanting to stray too far away from the fire. There's no windows in this room, you know, it's really closed off. You're trying to stay in as sheltered and as warm as you could possibly make it. but it doesn't stop the wind howling through the corridors and the windows of the gatehouse at night. And this wind sounds very like the howling that you remember of the dire wolves that you slaughtered at the Giant's Fortress. And several times during the night, a flurry of snow is kind of caught in the wind and blows its way in and extinguishes your herbs on your pipe. You can hear the creaking and the groaning of something heavy, as if it's like walking on the ramparts and the stairways above you. But then the night passes without incident, and the sun doesn't rise in the morning, but the sky gets lighter than it was previously. It's completely overcast. You can't see the sun in the sky or the blue of the sky at all. It looks as if a heavy blizzard or storm is coming. And that's you tomorrow.
A blizzard is coming. I guess you're staying longer here then.
We might have to stay here until the storm passes.
I think he's probably step out to survey the landscape again. And you catch sight of the traveller who's frozen, sat upright in the gateway, and you wonder how long he was waiting out a storm here when he froze to death.
Well, it's shelter. Don't think about it.
You also need to consider how many supplies you have for firewood.
Is there like no furniture inside here?
There is stuff, like I said, there's barrels and crates and carts and things like that, but they would need like thawed out because they've been frozen for so long. So if you're foraging and stuff like that, that's how you can get supplies as well, but yeah.
And I'm sure we haven't discovered everything here yet.
But I mean, it's overcast and there's probably a storm coming, but right now there isn't one. So if you want to set out, that's up to you. I'll be back in the map here.
How many supplies do we need to make it to the nearest objective?
The castle to the north and the buildings to the west are both about a day's journey. So you would want 2 supplies for that journey.
I only have 1 from the hunting.
But I mean, you can still make it with 1, but obviously you're going to take like an extra cold or something.
Well, I had gotten 3. 1, and then only 4, so I got 2. We also spent the night, so I'm assuming we used 1 ration.
You'd have used 2, because 1 for the fire and 1 for eating.
Right, so that leaves me with 1.
Okay, so as a party you've got 2, which is enough to get you somewhere.
So should we leave or should we keep exploring the castle?
Well, we have to make it to the castle.
He means the gatehouse.
I thought we were already in the castle.
You're in the gatehouse. There's like a castle in the horizon, or the shape of one.
I think we should head to the castle then. We'll probably find clues there.
Okay. So the Pathfinder can make the roll again, but I mean you can see where you're going, so anybody can make the roll if they want. They'll just have less dice.
Bracken, I think this is your time to shine. Somehow get us lucky and we can see where we're going.
I would love to do that. You know what? I'm doing it.
Okay.
So the same amount of dice you rolled last time for the journey. No, sorry, that's different because that was plumbing the depths. So you're not fresh. You are prepared. It's not known. It's not particularly treacherous. It's not more than a day. So you're gonna have 2 dice, and you can take fatigue for an extra one, but everybody's gonna take fatigue for the journey anyway.
Damn it. I got a 4, 6, and a 4.
Which actually made you roll 1 less because you get lost, but you can see where you're going, so it probably doesn't apply. I mean, okay, so we can just say
Oh,
you,
yeah.
yes.
If I'm rolling 1 less, then I would have only had to roll 1 dice, and I got a 4.
Well, if you roll 1 less and you got a 6, we'll just say you don't re-roll the 6. That works.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so a success. So you make the journey there. That's fine. Yeah, so you check north, and the ground is definitely not as firm and rocky and gravel underneath the snow and ice as when you're going across the tundra. It seems flatter, more barren. The ice is certainly thicker here. The snow is hardened just with the temperature, and you can start to feel the cold biting even through your furs. But at the end of the day, you are constantly waiting for the wind to pick up, for the snow to start, and for this blizzard to just fall and kick in on you. But it never happens. And as you approach the castle, it's a very strange sight, because immediately beyond this castle is just like a thick, dense fog that stretches right up to the sky, to the clouds, and you cannot see anything past it. This castle is as far as your visibility will go, no matter how close you get to it.
That seems odd.
The castle itself is just ruins. Deserted, crumbling, frozen in time. Very unlike the gatehouse you saw previously. It looks like a similar kind of architecture, but not as grand. The stone looks rougher and worn, whereas one before was immaculate. It's maybe more like an outpost kind of castle rather than like a stronghold. It's not as large as, a proper castle would be.
So you said the castle was like as far as our vision could see, no matter how close we got to it?
Yes, when you get right up to the castle, maybe a 10-minute walk further north from there, and it's just mist, fog, thick with a kind of bluish tinge to it. It stretches as far as you can see in either direction. It's just like a wall of fog.
Is it like
So
so
that's
thick
like-
we can't even see the ground and stuff?
Yeah, you can see the fog, but you can't see anything beyond it. It's just like a wall of fog. It's not. There's a wind blowing, but the fog is not blowing with the wind. It's stationary.
Is that like to the left and right of the castle too, or just like directly behind it?
Yeah, it's as if the castle is like in front of a giant wall, and the wall stretching east to west, as far as I can see. There is like nothing else here. There's no trees, there's no mountains, it's just empty snow plains.
Oh, let's go into the castle then, see what we can find.
It's not a giant-sized castle, is it?
No, it's regular human sized.
Okay.
Okay, Joel, so since you suggested it, you can roll for this. Do you have any rations now?
Unless we forage for stuff along the way.
Well, I mean, you'd have to forage here. So I'm going to say that's a no. Okay, so you got 1 dice. You're going to lose 1 dice. So you can burn a torch to get 1 dice. Or if you've got a lantern or something, John.
Does anyone have any more torches?
Or if
Just
you've got-
my lantern, but then you get to have supplies to light it.
I have a tinder box.
I'll let you use tinderbox. I says I'll let you use tinderbox if you want to burn it off as a torch.
I can use my tinderbox then.
Okay, yeah, so you just burn off so you don't have any more. Okay, so that'll give you a dice. And then you can take fatigue for an extra dice.
Could I use foolhardy to help me?
Foolhardy is not going to help you, it'll be a detriment here, so that's actually going to lose your dice.
Okay, so I roll 2 and take the worst one.
No, you should have 1. D4.
I've got -2 health.
Ah, okay, yes, so 2 in the worst one. This will go well.
No, it won't.
And you're out in front, I'm guessing, because
Yes.
you are leading the way. Okay.
Totally giving you directions.
Okay, so you set fire to your little tinderbox and what other kind of scraps of fuel you can afford. You go into the ruin. Really not much to it. There's no roof. The walls are kind of all gone. But you do find like a passage that takes you to what would be the dungeon or perhaps a crypt. You enter down there and you can see the floor has given way to a deeper pit. But something, and you're not sure what, has carved or chiseled like footholds and grips that allow you to descend to the bottom of this. Of course, the other two are waiting at the top of this while you descend down with the light source. Once you reach the bottom, you feel the familiar crackle and crinkling of your feet against like thin ice and frost. But as your feet kind of settle down there, the ice and frost starts to rise up from the ground and take form around you. It starts to swirl around and coalesce and solidify into a vaguely humanoid structure, which is covered in these kind of like fractal patterns coming out of it and out of snowflakes and bits of ice all over it. The thing towers above you by at least a foot and a half. And it's just this semi-transparent ice sculpture of a figure that surrounds you.
I know what to do.
What'd you do?
I'm gonna try to communicate with it.
Okay, and say what?
Take me to your leader.
Okay, do you have any social skills whatsoever?
No.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna be 2 dice and take the worst because of your health ticks here. Yes,
Can I start?
you approach the thing, your hands out, held in peace, and you step forward, to say, "Take me to your leader, I come peace." And the thing spears you in the shoulder with one of its jagged long fingers. And the large icicle just pierces your skin, taking injury.
Alright.
What are you saying, Drac?
I was gonna ask why he was foolishly walking up to it. Could I have studied it from the distance?
Sure. So you guys are up above and you're looking down on it. It's several, meters or probably like a dozen feet or so below you. And it just looks like an ice sculpture that's moving. Absolutely silent. You're only
But it-
able to
but
really see it properly because the reflections off of the flame.
It moved when he approached it.
Oh yeah. It moved with speed and speared his shoulder with a long icicle.
Tell if it's magical in design or if it's some kind of actual creature.
Do you have the wizard sight?
I don't, but I hadn't took my trait yet either. I was debating on what I wanted it to be. I mean, wizard sight would fit, but I didn't want to take that away from the dwarf.
True, but he's not here. And you are all about seeking magic power and stuff, so I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah, I'll take that then. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell this is some kind of spirit, which has inhabited a construct.
And back.
And imagine Joe
So-
lets out a yelp of pain as he's speared in the shoulder.
Ooh, that hurt.
So you two guys up top, what would you like to do?
Is he still in our sight?
You can see him, yeah, you can see him in the light source in the thing down below. It's going to be like several meters down.
Right, then I will shoot an arrow down there.
Okay, give me a roll.
With archery, which I have at 1.
Nice. Do you have any traits that would apply?
Brave.
Brave works, yeah. To get extra
Good
dice for
eye.
that.
0 successes.
You get 2 XP for that at least. Yes, you aim straight and true, your arrow flies down, strikes the thing and sinks a little bit into the structure. The structure sort of slowly turns and faces up towards you. And you can see there's a bunch of shards that are vaguely in a face, like a human face. It's emotionless and it doesn't, move or anything like that. It's just like this haunting mask that stares up at you for a second. And then you can see as it slowly starts to like stretch and reform itself into a taller, thinner form as it's reaching up towards you.
Oh shit.
So what would you like to do now?
Did I try to deconstruct it?
Do you have such a spell or ritual?
No ritual, but since I know that it is magical and I do have blast. Since it's reforming itself, could I try to like blast it apart as it's doing that?
Yeah, of course you can.
So that'll be I got blast 3. Would anything apply to help me with that?
Blast 3,
Wizard sight?
your default dice. Do you have a trait that applies?
It's wizard sight.
Sure, so you can get extra dice for that.
Okay.
And of course you'll get XP even if you fail. Sorry, even if you succeed.
Well, I succeeded. It's just by how much at this point? So I got 5, 5, 5, a 6, a 3, and a 2.
Okay, so that's a crit. So what's your, is this the same blast as before, just like the cold wind?
Right. But now I'm trying to focus it on like a particular point since it's in a mid process of reforming itself.
Sure. And what point in the structure are you going for? Are you going for the top where it's still forming, or you hitting bit that's already formed?
Where it's trying to form at, so it'd be weakest there in my mind.
Okay, so it starts to assemble itself and grow in height, and it gets like another meter or 3 feet up, and then you aim this blast of magical energy, and you cause it to all the ice crystals that were forming at the top just shatter, go flying outwards and stick into the stone around the edges of this pit. The thing silently just kind of like falls and tumbles into a pile of ice crystals at the bottom. And Joel, as you're there, you can see them start to like wiggle and move, and they start to like slowly like slide back together again to create a form.
Can I attack it while it's reforming?
Sure. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna just punch it right in the middle of the hole.
So what? Just stamp on it, or just smash into it, or what?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you have to roll for that?
Fighter and probably foolhardy.
I don't think foolhardy is to your advantage here, though.
Maybe maybe tall then, because I'm bigger and stronger than normal people.
Okay, if you got a bigger size, sure. I'll give you a dice.
Alright, so that'd be 1 plus 3 and minus 2.
Remember,
And
these
then-
are taking fatigue for those as well.
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
is gonna lose me a health.
Is this going to take off another health?
Yeah. But it's okay.
Okay, it's a crit though. That's enough. You can see it like forming up again slowly, bit by bit, just as the mask is bending to pull itself together at your face height. You shoulder barge into it, plunge your sword into it, hit it with all your force might, throw your mass against it, and then it's kind of weakened shape. The whole thing just like shatters again. The ice just like falls again to the ground, and this wispy, pale blue, immaterial, ethereal thing is kind of just like floating where the thing was, where you just smashed it, and it lets out a sort of soft whisper that sounds almost like a breeze in the wind, a breeze around the edges of the chamber that you're in, and it dissipates into the air and disappears.
I'll
Damn, I wanted to talk to it.
Joel cough and let out a burst of blood, and then yell up to the guys up there to hurry up and get down here.
Yeah, sure, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to go down in that room. Yeah.
I see no problem whatsoever.
You can see, Joel, from the glint of the light from your tinderbox still, that there is a tunnel of some sort off to the side here at the bottom of this pit.
Guess I'll go down and look at the shattered remains at the very least.
Yes, the shards of ice seem to be just that, different sized icicles and bits of ice and frost that are kind of just frozen together in different shapes and patterns. But by the heat of the flame, or too long in the heat of your hand, they'll start to melt, and it just seems like ordinary water. So what would you like to do?
Well, we're all out of food, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Should we just keep going down this tunnel and hope we find some?
I hope it leads us to a kitchen or something.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Just move you guys to this picture. Where is it? Very quickly, this tunnel is evidently carved into solid ice rather than stone. You recognise it from the one, the ice caves you were kind of in before with the spider was lurking. It's very smooth and slippery. You're not quite sure what's caused the tunnel itself, because, you know, it's unusual for it to be formed like this here. But since you're leading the way, Joel, do you want to roll 2 dice and take the worst again?
Eventually, I'm just gonna roll a 2 5 or 2 6s.
That's not so bad. You start in the direction, well, I mean, you're following the singular direction it's heading in, which is north. But very soon you find that it splits off into multiple tunnels. And each of those directions themselves branch off in multiple directions. And it's not long before you come lost. The cold is really eating in through your gear now. Could everybody mark a cold? Unless you have a heat source of some sort.
How are those spiders doing in my backpack?
Oh, the eggs?
Can we eat them?
Imagine anytime they're kind of exposed to heat, you can feel them kind of like moving and squirming inside.
Oh, so they're getting closer and closer to hatching.
Potentially, but I mean, you've no idea what the incubation period would be.
Can we eat them?
Well, I mean, there's nothing stopping you from eating them.
Alright,
Eric, you're the cook, right?
Yeah.
Can you cook this?
I guess. Do we have some salt or something to like spice it up?
I imagine you have a small measure of salt for like rations and stuff.
Very nice. Yep, I guess we are eating spiders tonight.
Okay, give me a cooking roll.
I have cooking at 1. Oh.
I got a very skeptical look on my face.
You have what?
I got a very skeptical look on my face.
2 dice because we are in a sheltered position, right?
Sure. Yes. Are you like cracking the eggs in, or are you boiling them? How are you preparing them?
Cracking them over a pot, just like you would crack a, chicken egg.
Oh, I love it. Okay, yeah, so you take the one egg, it fits in your palm of your hand, and you crack it off the side of the thing. And as soon as you do, this hand-sized ice spider scurries up your arm and starts to bite. Well, it doesn't actually bite you, it scurries up your arm over the lip of the hood of your furs and down into the torso of your furs. You can feel it like running around your chest.
Oh god, he's just gonna scream, get up, and beat himself. Trying to get rid of it.
Yep, saw something like this happening.
Do you have fighter?
Yes.
Okay, you can roll like a fighter roll for me, because you're physically like bashing your chest right hard.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, nice. Okay, so yes, it's going to start to burrow into the soft part of your belly. So you're going to take an injury. Yes, you can feel it gnaw through the furs, the leather, the first layer of skin, into the soft fat of your tummy.
I'm gonna try fucking pulling it out now.
Yes, you reach in and under and grab it in your hand, and it's fighting viciously and wriggling around and like nipping and scratching at your hand with its fangs. You manage to just like crush it in your hand, throw it in the ground, and stamp it underfoot.
Okay, now for the other X.
Did you at least get the yolk out of that one?
It's no yolk, it's a spider.
Same difference. I don't know. It's an egg.
It points at the crushed spider. You can eat that if you want.
No, I'm good. No, I was just curious.
Right, so are you going to make camp here, or are you going to trek on?
I think we need to forage for some supplies if that's even possible in the underground tunnel.
Well, I mean, you can. It's going to be -1 dice, and you'll take fatigue when you do it.
We need to do that and then vest, I guess. That'd be the goal.
Again, if you don't have a heat source, I also want you to take a cold when you do an action.
We already have one cold, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, that's only if everyone else is okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm rolling my dice.
Yeah, because I don't think I can set up a camp or probably fail again.
I got 1 success out of 5.
Okay, so it's partial success for foraging. Okay, yeah, so you'll manage to again come across a body which is frozen down here. It's not been gnawed at, it's not been eaten, it's just preserved. It looks like he's maybe died of cold or thirst or something. And you're able to forage supplies, 1 supply off him.
So there's 1 supplies off of it?
Oh, sorry, no, you roll 1d6 for me.
3.
Okay, so 3 supplies.
Well, that should be enough to get us through another day's travel. So camp here for the night then? Or is it even nighttime?
You could just do the journey roll if you don't want to make camp to try and find your way out of here. Or you can go back.
Or you could go back.
Well, I definitely don't want to go back. I want to keep going forward.
Okay, so
Alright, let's keep going.
Well, yeah, so it's just a matter of deciding, do we want to make camp and then continue, or just continue, period?
So yeah, I mean, you can stay and rest, you'll recover some fatigue if you just do that, or you can push on where you're going to take stress and cold.
Yeah, I'm already at 3 fatigue, so I would like to get rid of some of that fatigue. Fatigue and 2 cold, so
Yeah, so I don't think we need to roll for the making camp thing itself because there's nothing to do to prepare camp here. You're just literally setting up a fire. So you'll spend 1 supplies to make the fire. And then you'll spend 1 supplies for everybody to eat. So that's 1 fatigue back for everyone. And then if you want to all take a rest without taking watch, you can all get back 2 fatigue and 2 cold.
I can take watch.
Well, I was about to say, if we set up a watch system, we'd all just get back an additional fatigue instead of 2. Or...
If you split the watch, because there's only 2 units split watch, each of those people will get 1 fatigue back instead of 2 fatigue back. And 1 cold back instead of 2 cold back. So you can split it if you want. It's up to you.
Well, now that I know that there is a spirit floating around, possessing constructs, yeah, I definitely want to take watch.
Okay. Does anyone split the watch with them or what?
Yeah, I said I'd take watch.
Okay. So you'll get 1 fatigue back each and 1 cold back each. And Drax, since you're the one that said you want to watch out for the spirits and stuff, do you want to roll with survival, I guess? Or whatever you think's appropriate for taking watch.
Survival, and then since I'm looking for the spirit in particular, could I use check?
You can, and you'll also get a dice because it's sheltered.
Okay, so 2, shelter, 3.
And you should have enough XP now to get a level up.
I do, but I didn't know if I'd just like wait to the end of the session to try and do that, or.
When you take a long rest, you can level up. So that would have been the last long rest you took would have been it.
Alright. And what does that do? Like, I get like to upgrade a skill or learn a new skill?
Yes, you can go new skill at level 1, or you can just upgrade one.
Alright, I want to upgrade one. I'm actually gonna upgrade survivalist to 3. Okay. Uh, 5, 3, 4, 6. So 1.
So 2.
Yeah, and I had only have 4 dice, so I have to reroll 2 of them to get my full dice ahead.
Yeah. 2's a full success, so yes, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and my other 2 was just a 4 and a 1, so I got 2 successes.
So during the night, or during the time that you're resting, you hear something sliding in the dark. It's beyond where you can see with your limited light sources. There's lots of corners. There's like glints of reflections you can see somewhat. But there's something fairly large, and it sounds like it's sliding. There's no other kind of sound associated with it, but it sounds as if, it's like something heavy's been dragged across the ice. And you can just hear it off in the darkness. It keeps you on edge most of the night, but it never seems to approach. And it stays way long enough that you'll manage to get your rest done.
Yeah, I'll definitely tell the others when they wake up about that. At least we know something's down here.
Well, that's not good.
But if it's sliding, it could be like, a meal if we want to try and keep an extra eye out.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got Hunter, you can track it down and try to hunt it. Imagine Joel's looking at all his wounds and he's like,
I don't know if he wants to do that or not, but maybe we could also track it to avoid it if we know where it is going. If there's any kind of pattern, we could just not cross his path.
Yeah, so I mean, you can either do a journey to try and find your way out of here, or you can track this thing. And maybe tracking it will lead you out as well. That's up to you guys.
How would we get rid of his health points then?
How How does he restore his health ticks? He needs to spend like a week in a place of safety and warmth.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because as we go further, we'll have like less and less place to heal up.
He's going to be getting a lot of XP from field rolls.
Oh yeah, I'm about to level up again.
That actually puts me at 3 XP. I got to use Wizard Sight.
Yep, that's the next one. Yeah, so do you want to track this thing, or do you want to just try and find your way out?
I'll leave that up to the hunter and the injured party member.
I say we fight to the death.
Okay, that sounds great. I have no complaints with that whatsoever.
I mean,
So I'm the only one who has complained about that. Gotcha.
I mean, as the hunter, the tracker, you don't have to like actually track the thing. You could tell them you're tracking it and just try to find your way out.
No, true.
Oh yeah, it's this week, guys. Listen. Oh, and yeah.
Leads them home.
Oh, look at that. We're back at the entrance. Oh well.
Then we live to fight another day.
Look, who doesn't want to see the sun again?
But yeah, so what do you want to do?
On one hand, I don't particularly want to die today. On the other hand, I'm kind of really curious about what kind of creature it was, or if maybe it was a spirit again,
Or if you can eat it.
or if I can eat it. Yeah, we're kind of getting a little low on our supplies again.
Well, if I die, you can eat me, and then I'll just come back to hunt you all.
No, I'm not hungry enough for that option just yet.
What if I turn into an animal before I die?
See, now you're messing with my mind, and I don't know if that's okay or not to do that. Like, you would be an animal, but technically you're human. But technically you were an animal when you died. So, like, would that still be considered cannibalism?
I mean, who cares when you're eating pork chops?
I mean, but does he turn back into a person? Like how does this work? Like, do you just stay an animal? Are you gonna be in?
That's a good
You
question.
gonna be in my stomach? You gonna be in my stomach and then turn back into human flesh? Like, I don't understand. Like, I need to study this.
So if I turned into a mouse, and then someone ate me, and then I turned back, would they just explode?
See, these are things I need to know before I contemplate.
See, I've seen that
This
episode of
is-
The Boys.
I don't like remembering that scene of The Boys.
But I mean, he was so happy before that, just running along, stroking the inside of his hands. Collective wins. Yeah, so what do you want to do?
Fight to the death, I think.
Okay, so you want to track it. Okay, so a hunter roll from someone.
I have 2 dice for Hunter. I'm also injured, so...
Okay, so 2 dice. There's a default dice, -1 if you're... Well, injury itself doesn't do anything, but if your health tick's down, oh, you lose dice.
1 success.
Okay.
Would you still be injured though? Because camp would be reversed, and we use the ration. So
You need to spend the supplies and then make a healing roll to heal one injury.
Yeah, if we had an
Okay.
extra supply, I could have healed you guys, but I don't think we have any more.
No, we
Oh, we
are
did.
kinda poor.
did actually, because I gotten 3. We only used 2 for camp. But I was saving it in case we had to make like a journey trip or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as you don't get too injured, it should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you leave them untreated for too long, they get worse as well, though. So, yes, you follow what seem to be tracks. The best way you can describe them is the tracks of a very large worm or snake that you're following It's like grooves in the frost of this ice tunnel. You can tell that the thing is of a very large size, of a substantial weight, and you do manage to follow it through the tunnels that slope upwards, and it seems like it's popped up onto the surface. When you get up to the surface, all around you is like plain white snow. So you know it's up here somewhere, but there's no more tracks beyond the entrance where you pop out.
How
Like-
big was it? Did we catch a glimpse of it?
No, we never saw it. We saw the tracks, so we could like.
Yeah, you
we
know.
could-
So as the hunter knows it's came up here, it's out here, but there's no more tracks in this snow up top to figure out where it's gone. And I would think your hunter instincts would tell you that that means it's probably lying around here somewhere, disguised, camouflaged.
And we could tell the rough size by the tracks, but the hunter would be able to tell the rough size by the tracks.
Sorry, what was it about?
Well, it's like a meter wide. I don't know if you'd be able to tell the length. I'm not sure how. Maybe if you got higher success, you could tell the length. You know, it's like a meter wide, so it's quite broad. Definitely of a size that it could devour a man.
I propose we go another way.
So it's just like powdery snow that's on the ground.
Sorry?
You said we came up in, like in a plane, right? Snow plane.
Yes.
And there's no tracks. So if there's no tracks, then we can just. It'd be like fresh snow would have covered up the old tracks.
So this is the very hard, icy snow that you were just trekking through. So
Right.
this is like snow that's been here long enough that it's like now frozen, almost like ice itself. So this is not freshly fallen snow.
Are we in the sea of fog now?
Looking back to your south, you can see the wall of fog. So you're now beyond the wall of fog.
Maybe we need to find this snake so we can ride it to our destination.
I'm looking at you like you're crazy, by the way.
I'll just lift my battle axe into the air and just start like darting my eyes around so I can try to see like it was trying to sneak up on us.
So are you leaving the tunnel and then moving across the snow?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go stand outside the tunnel.
Okay, so 2 dice and take the worst for you, I think. Unless you've
I
got,
would like to just.
unless you've got like a very high skill in something.
For standing outside a tunnel.
Your foolhardy would certainly apply, but not in a good way.
So would this be like a fighter roll?
Sure, you could use a fighter roll. And lose 1 dice for the foolhardy.
Can I keep an eye out while he does this? Like, I just want to look in like a broader sense, while he just recklessly walks out into the middle of the plane. Like, if he's gonna do something stupid, I at least want to take advantage of it. Like,
Okay, yes. Yes, he steps out into the snow, crunch, crunch. And he looks back at you, almost as if, like, this isn't so bad, I think it's fine. Takes a couple more steps, and the ground all around him, in this sort of, like, semicircular shape, rises up into this tall, icy-looking cobra, almost.
Would I have had time to level up before we came out here? Did we rest at all at
You
the
had a
entrance?
short rest, you didn't have a long rest, though. You need a long rest.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it rises up and it stands about 4 meters, which is about 12 or 15 feet high. It towers above you, and then, but it's very, very quick, and it strikes at you, take another injury.
I'm gonna laugh at it and then try to shapeshift into it.
You get 2 XP for that roll as well. Okay, how many dice do you have for shapeshifting now?
All my things that are at 3, I only have 1 dice for.
Okay. I mean, it's still a dice.
Since I'm not shapeshifting into a bear, it wouldn't be touched by the gods, would it?
No, it wouldn't.
And I don't think Loner would help since the other 2 are with me. Or would Loner help since they're not in the fight yet?
I don't think Lunar's going to help with the shapeshift.
Oh.
Is that 2 and taking the worst though?
No, that's just 1 dice. Since shapeshift
Oh yeah,
is at
because it's technically it's 6. Okay, sure. Okay, I mean you're going to take fatigue. I'm going to say take a cold as well. So you shapeshift into the form of it. You're not as large as it. You know, you're maybe just like slightly larger than your human form, but you're a replica of its shape. And, yeah. You've got its fangs. You've got its kind of camouflaged scales, the scale armor all over your body. You can feel your, like the temperature of your blood shift and change, and it feels like ice running through your veins. Your vision becomes almost like black and white, but you can see heat sources. You can feel them in the pit of your nose. You can like hear the heartbeats of your comrades.
I'm gonna...
What do you guys at the tunnel want to do? You see this thing come up, strike him, and then him take its form. What would you just like to do?
I looks like a big snake, so it's gonna be good eating. I'm gonna try to freeze it.
Okay, make a roll.
A 5 and a 2.
Okay, yeah, so you cast it and you can see it's slow. Almost as if it's like weak or lethargic, but it doesn't completely come to a halt. It's not completely frozen in place. But you've given everyone like an advantage to make moves against it because it's moving slower. Its reaction time is lessened.
Okay, so I need to take a fatigue and a cold, or
Yes, you would. And what about you, Eric, aka Turlock?
Charging it with a big battle axe.
Oh.
Also,
like-
I am. In 5 minutes, I have another voice game because I kind of miscalculated today.
Right. Okay. Well,
So I
let's
may
just.
need to hop out.
Okay, let's just see if you die in a blaze of glory first. Okay, that'll do. Okay, so you take a fatigue, you're going to take a cold. You run up to it and smack into it with your axe. You manage to crack through some of the scale that it's covered in, sinking into its flesh, and it does in fact bleed. Although the blood that comes out is kind of a very dark blue sort of colour. The thing hisses and it spits at you, and it causes a burn to your face. You're going to take an injury.
I'm at 3 now.
And Joel, what do you want to do now that you're in snake form?
I'll hiss at it and try to communicate with it. No, I'm actually, it's already fighting us. I'm just gonna jump up and bite it.
Okay, leap forward and bite it with your new fangs. Sure. So it's a fighter roll.
Could you roll a 1 dice for me?
I can indeed. A 1. Okay, so you leap forward to bite it. Oh wait, sorry, you should get an extra dice because it's slow now. Another 1. Yes, you leap forward to bite it and it rears back and you snap it empty air as you miss and it strikes downwards and sinks its teeth into the back of your neck. You're going to take another injury. What
Alright.
Eric and Logan like to do?
And charge again.
Okay, just take another swipe at it. Okay, give me a roll. You get an extra dice because it's slow.
Oh, sure. Also extra dice because brave.
Dad, some of what I get is just vague, like facts.
Yes, you slice down with your battle axe and take its head off in one blow. It flops to the ground in front of you. The blue blood just seeps out into the snow around it. It's dead.
Okay. I'm sorry, but I now really need to go.
Sure, no problem.
Sorry for miscalculating.
With that, the hunter just kind of like falls with cold exhaustion and slinks back into the tunnel where you guys deal with whatever remains of left here.
Well, definitely want to get some supplies out of it since it's dead. I think that's what I heard last before
Yeah.
I cut out.
It's a survivalist roll.
Sure.
While you're doing that, Joel is just gonna collapse from his wounds.
In snake form.
You guys are some bad luck.
You get nothing.
Well, I got a 1, a 2, and then at least I got 1 5, but out of 4 dice.
Okay, yeah, so you only get 1 supplies out of it.
Big old snake eye, did we just fuck it up that bad, huh?
I think it's more like the flesh of it, like the type of blood it has. It's just, it doesn't seem very edible.
So you think it's some kind of like ice monster, just made of ice?
I mean, it's not made of ice, but it's definitely the anatomy, the physiology, isn't that of like an ordinary creature, which isn't too
So it's
surprising
probably-
because something like it shouldn't be able to survive out in this kind of environment in the first place. I think with your wizard sight as well, you might be able to detect that, you know, there's some sort of magical effect going on with it.
Right. What about its scales?
Yeah, you can harvest its skills. I think that's fair.
That was my next goal. Try to harvest its scales.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to roll 1d4, you can take that many, like, I don't know, handfuls or weight of scales if you want.
You want to roll one for me? I don't know if you can have a 1d4 dice.
Just roll a d6, and if it's 5 or 6, just roll it again.
Okay, sounds good to me. A 3.
There you go, yeah, so you get 3 loads of scales if you want.
Alright, I'll tuck those away so I can try to study them later.
Take us back up to the map here. Yeah, so you're now beyond the fog wall. Again, there is a structure on the horizon. Taller, perhaps, than the castle that you were at previously. Might be a tower or something. It does look quite thin.
Now that I have Maze Sight, since I guess I'm gonna say like I activated that during the little journey here. Could I look at the fog wall, see if it's magical in design?
Oh, sure. Do you have a skill that might apply to this?
Curious, or otherwise it would just be survivalist would be the only thing I can think of.
What was the
So I
first
don't
one you
really think
said?
applies.
Sorry?
But trait would be curious, but
Oh,
otherwise no.
I mean, your wizard sight's trait's going to apply anyway.
Yeah, I'm using. Yeah. Nothing I have I think would apply.
So you don't have like, it's not like perception or anything like that. Okay, so just roll 2 dice, one for wizard sight, one for the default. You don't need to take fatigue for this one because you're just looking.
6, a 5, and a 3.
Okay, full success. Yeah, that is definitely some sort of magical construct. That is not a natural phenomena. Someone has engineered that and put that in place. It is a very old magic. It has a, I don't know if it has like a signature or a telltale sort of taste to it or something like that in your senses. But you can tell just by surveying it that it's an old magic.
Can I tell what might happen if you try to like walk through it?
It doesn't seem to carry any of this, like the traits of a magic that would cause harm.
So it just obscures vision.
Quite possibly, yeah.
I'll put a little notebook, start taking notes.
Since we're down to 2 people and one of you is practically dead, I don't know if you want to wait until we have more people next week.
That's probably a good idea.
Since you guys are still here, I mean, if you just want to get like a long rest, I'm fine with that.
I was just trying to think of a way to help with his injuries and all that. Since I want to study the fog wall anyways, you could just set up camp, yeah?
Is the snake enough meat to let us rest for 4 weeks?
Not 4 weeks.
You got like 1 ration of it, so no.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can still take a shelter in the tunnel, so it's still sheltered.
Alright, then I'll, while we're resting, I'll level up my shapeshift.
Okay.
I think we could take a long rest so you can still heal your injuries at least, because you got another one during that fight.
Well, long rest is going to get you back 2 fatigue. You only have 1 supplies, is that right?
No, I had 1 left over, then we got 1 from the snake, so that'd be 2.
Right, okay. So you can also restore 2 cold and an extra fatigue. So that's 3 fatigue and 2 cold you're restoring in total.
Okay. But then we don't have enough supplies for me to heal anyone.
No, but the other 2 players should have supplies when we come back. I'll make a note to remind you.
Alright.
And then they can use them, you can use that to heal everyone.
But since we're taking a long rest, would my injuries get worse?
We
Or would
won't,
we...
we won't do that because you'll probably get a chance to treat them before when the other
Alright,
guys are here. Just because they are not here, I don't think you should suffer for that.
Yeah, because if my injuries get worse, I go down to minus 4 health.
I don't think you're making it back. I was thinking you
It
get...
depends.
Sorry, on you go.
It depends. There's not a structure in the distance. If it's some kind of building, we could always take shelter there for a couple of weeks while we forage for supplies.
This is true. Yeah, that's true.
I'll just die and turn into a bear.
I mean, I thought
not-
you make to the site today, and you might be able to like heal up there before you make the return journey anyway. Well,
Well, that is if we don't, kill each other fighting over the treasure. which definitely won't happen.
Oh, so that's your plan. Yeah.
The whole point of the trip was to get the treasure and then take it back. So I don't see why we would want to kill each other over it. At least not till we made it back.
Yeah. Because obviously you need the extra people to haul more treasure, but as you get close to getting home, then it's a case of, well, the less people, then the bigger the split.
Then again, do we even know what each other's like actual goals are for going here?
Well,
Other than
mine
just
are
we want to
plain.
get here?
Oh, we know dragons.
You know, yeah, mine's easy. I've been telling everybody it since we left. Like my goal's easy. I don't even want money.
Grunt was all about adventuring because he was the last adventuring party. So I think he's here just for the jollies. And who's here to prove themselves? I think that was Eric's one.
The hunter.
Yeah, so he's there to like prove himself. So he's not very money driven either.
No one knows my mysterious goal for coming here.
Yeah, you've already told us that. You said to be the next shaman, you had to make it there and back.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's just what
I
you
don't think
told
anyone. Yeah, well, that's what you told us at least. Yeah. So as far as we know, so far we don't think anybody's here for the actual money. We don't.
Surprise, bitches, it's mine. Poisoned all your food.
That would be the cook. That would be the guy here for the jollies.
Yeah, I figured we would have got to the site today, but with him disappearing, yeah.
No, it's not like I'm gonna start some kind of bear apocalypse.
No, because that'd be ridiculous, I would like to do like a proper campaign of this. Probably 8 to 10 sessions. Have a bit of a story to it. And use some of the changes I've made when I've been rewriting it based on what we've played. But I don't think I can do that until at least November, and maybe not even until December, which would be a pain in the ass because then you have to stop over Christmas.
So is this gonna be like the prologue where we somehow inadvertently cause a global ice age?
Oh, it'll be a separate like thing. This is just like a test one. I wouldn't have the stuff carry on. Because I'll probably draw a new map for it and stuff like that. I might even get like everyone to draw the map at the start, I don't know. You gotta have like big expanses of bits where they don't really know what's on the map. But yeah, I mean, I would like to do that. It's just I can't do it because my Sunday one doesn't end until Christmas. So I couldn't do it on a Sunday, and I've got these other games just now. So I'd like to do it, I just don't know when.
Well, you let me know, and I'll play.
Yeah, I like this
Plus,
one.
Plus, I see this one as like the sequel, not the prequel. If we did one before, the main campaign would be how we turned everything to the Ice Age.
But we're in the North Pole. It's not an ice age.
No, everything's an Ice Age.
It's the North Pole and it's an ice age. That's why it's so far north. But yeah, I mean, I've sketched out I think 5 different scenarios you can take. So one of them is like going to Frozen City just for treasure. One of them is going after someone who's lost, who went looking for treasure. Another one is like your village is dying and you're going out looking for somewhere new to live. I can't remember what the other 2 were. So yeah, it's not like the hero's tale where you're going to save the world kind of thing. It's just like about survival or greed. But I mean, if your character dies in this one, I mean that's fitting because I would like someone to die.
Well, we got someone close. He's halfway there.
It's gonna turn out I'm gonna be the only one who survives till the end.
Yeah, by poisoning all them and then eating their bodies. The fact you went quiet means I was right.
No.
No, that's
He's
not
not-
my plan.
He was gonna
Look.
summon. Summon the Great Bear. Now for us, it's a sacrifice when he makes it to the big city.
Yeah.
That's how he becomes summoned. He has to sacrifice somebody up there.
I feel like that's very like your paladin guy who summons the duck all the time.
Yeah, it seems like my only characters who aren't just awful people are just summoners who have summons do awful things for them.
Got a distance just out from the guild. Yeah, so we'll just have the next week's session, then that's it for this one, until I can figure out when to run the next one.